Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, are we in for a wild time? So, excuse me, we've got a new case of the bird flu. There's certain words you can't say because the algorithm doesn't like it. We've got that sweeping across the country. We've got civil war. We've got potential lockdowns. We've got the likelihood of military being deployed on our streets. Guys, absolutely insane times to be alive. Guys, if you've not done so already, please like, comment, and share and subscribe, I think it is. I really want this channel to grow like our other channels have done. Yesterday, I said, didn't I, in my video, I said, guys, look, we're going to have running pitch battles on the streets. And then what happened? We had running pitch battles on the streets. Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, what I suspect will happen in the next week, and I'll give you the reasons for that. We've got a government who have been so subverted that, well, I'll come on to that later in the video, guys. But like I said, please give us a like, give us a share, and a subscribe. I'll try and respond to all of your comments while I can. Let me share screen. Hang on, that one. This one. Okay, so elevated risk. Well, you can read it there, guys. New, the keyword, fears as UK health officials declare level 4 bird flu outbreak virus jumped from cows to humans. The UK Health Security Agency says there is a high uncertainty regarding the trajectory of this outbreak, and there is no apparent reduction in its transmission in response to the biosecurity measures that have been introduced today. So basically, there's this new one of those going around that could potentially be coming around. And from what we're hearing here, guys, look, there's no apparent reduction in transmission in response to the biosecurity measures. So that means basically the measures they've put in place to try and mitigate this, there's no reduction in its transmission. So all the measures they've put in place, they're not working. Some pictures of poor chicken and poor cows. To make sure the country is prepared for a possible outbreak of the highly pathogenic in humans, officials monitor its spread and assess its risk. This move comes after 4 dairy workers in the US tested positive. So let me stop sharing. So basically, guys, in the backdrop to all this craziness, in the backdrop to all this war that's going on, all this civil fighting, I'm not sure we can call it a civil war just yet, in the backdrop to all of this, we've got this new keyword, that's spreading around. Now, this could be a way that we could all have to stay in our houses for whatever reason. Now, it's just one to be aware of in the background. Is it going to progress? Will it progress? The problem with these things is I can't see them. I can't go and look at them and say, yes, it's there. I can't look at you and say, yes, you've got it. We need to be medically tested and they need to go away for a lab. And of those things, I have no control. So I don't know of the credibility. This is kind of one of those things that we have to, just trust the government on. So I'm going to read you the headlines now, guys, and I'm going to give you my comments on them. And please tell me what you think as well. So I'll put the link in the description, guys. I'll just read you the headline and I'll tell you, I'll tell you what I think. So this is from them, obviously. Knuckle-dragging morons egged on by social media liars hacking the I can't talk about this. Wreak havoc in 8 English towns and cities. But instead of leadership, says our columnist, all we get are shiny new Labour ministers spouting student platitudes. No wonder we're facing a summer of discontent. So remember what I said previously about subversion. You target the schools and the universities. So the schools and the universities that Keir Starmer and Angela Rayner have gone to, these will have been heavily subverted. And they won't know they'll have been taught an ideology that will facilitate this. And that's the problem. These guys don't even know that they're we've got people in power now who don't even know that they're not in power. They actually think they're in power. Riots engulf Britain, 4,000 police on standby. We'll come back to that in a while, guys. After shops looted amid clashes with far right. Again, this use of the word far right, they'll probably change the definition because they do that quite often. But, the far right has to be part of a political party. So all these people who are protesting that you can see here, they're all members of a political party, and they're all subscribed to, guys, it's just ridiculous, all right? You can call them what you want, but far right it's didactically wrong. Courts could sit overnight as ministers promise to deliver swift justice. Interestingly, there's no swift justice for the gentleman who did the attack. Well, I can't talk about it. Observer, rioters will pay the price as waves of violence sweep over the United Kingdom. Guys, look at all the pictures it's showing you. It's all showing you a certain type. Secret agents hunting down far-right protesters. Remember, guys, yesterday's video, I said this would happen. You know, I said you would have agents working in there. You know, so you would have agent provocateurs in the crowd. You'll also have plainclothes police officers, you know, walking around those crowds, looking at who's, you know, who's doing these things. And nowadays, everybody has their phone out. So whereas in the olden time, well, in the old times, you used to have like a, you know, like you used to have a van, and the van would be taking pictures, and then you'd have somebody walking through the crowd, gathering information, trying to talk to people with a little voice recorder or maybe a pinhole camera. You know, now people just have their phones out and nobody gives a second look. So that's the reality of the situation. 24-hour courts to tackle rioters. BBC should quit over Hugh. Yeah, so we've got Hugh is getting paid. And then we've got Britons make more life-changing decisions on the toilet and are more creative than in the office. Guys, yeah, so that's they're the headlines that we're looking at the moment with that. So from that then, guys, I'm going to talk about these, you know, this civil unrest for a little bit, and these are they riots? I don't think they're classed as riots. It's civil unrest, guys, you know, because I'm thinking of the legal definition. Anyway, so the civil unrest that you've got on the streets at the moment, it's just escalating and escalating. If we had strong leadership from the government, which we don't, this would be over. There was a police chief, a lady who put something out yesterday. She put something out saying, right, look, people are protesting, people are angry. We want to see the government's plan on mass migration. What's the government going to do? And that post's being removed now. She's been told she has to take it down. So I don't know who's controlling this. I don't know whether they want this or what, but you know, the government don't seem to be handling this in any competent manner. I heard the other day that Keir Starmer's going on holiday, so he's been in office. So you've got this guy, he's Prime Minister. I think he's yeah, I think he won a month ago today, didn't he? So you've got Keir Starmer now. He's is it? Yeah. So Keir Starmer, he's been in office 1 month. Look at the chaos that's happened in the 1 month that he's been in charge. You know, we've got another 4 years of this. The chaos that's happened in the 1 month that's been in charge, and he's going off on holiday with his, you know, with his family, I assume. So that's the situation on the ground in the UK. That's, you know, we've got this these birds that are infected. They're cruising around in the background, spreading to cows, spreading to humans. We've got tensions on the streets with the civil unrest, the civil order, the public order. We've got the, you know, the loom of potentially having us locked down with the use of this, this bird thing that's spreading to cows. That could happen. Now, I looked into this and I thought, okay, what's going to be happening in the background? Because I've had a government job. I used to work. I used to do this. I used to do contingency planning. I can guarantee you guys 1,000,000% there'll be a plan for this. Now, the plan, remember the video I did on hibernate, relocate, evacuate? Well, the government will, and I said, okay, for these things, you need to have triggers. So the government will also have triggers on putting the military onto the streets. Because, guys, they're talking about this now 100%, and I can guarantee it. The police are overwhelmed as it is. If more people get out on the streets, there's going to be nobody to, well, you could argue there's no one that responds to crime anyway, but you'll see nobody's on the streets policing, nobody can respond to crime, so you'll have a crime wave go up. And guys, you know, these things go hand in hand, and this is all, guys, it's all part of the bigger subversion plan. Anyway, so I was trying to figure out and look into the legislation on putting our soldiers on the streets, and I did actually find something, guys, and this is absolutely terrifying. Let me share this again for you. This one. not that one. Right, so I found this here, guys, and I'll put the link into the in the description. This is from the Home Office website. It was last updated on the 9th of April. So Operation Tempera. Operation Tempera is a joint contingency operation to provide military support to the police in extreme national emergency circumstances. Now, we need to understand what the definition of that is. That will be something that will be a trigger that the police will decide. There'll be nothing written down about that, because if enemy nations get that, they'll be able to, you know, put in place such methods that can cause that. Excuse me. Such as a surge support for a domestic terror attack or threat. So, you know, it's this that we need to worry about, that we need to concentrate on. National emergency circumstances. Defence personnel will always be deployed alongside and operate under the command of armed police officers. Operation Tempera was created in 2015 and last reviewed by the military in September 23. It includes plans for armed military personnel to be deployed in support of police, here we are guys, again, in extreme circumstances, in order to undertake clearly defined roles. Now, what are those clearly defined roles? Because the only clearly defined role that Keir Starmer has come out and said is that he will protect Muslims. So is this going to be the case that we're going to have the military, you know, I don't know. Who is Operation Tempera? Hang on, guys, let me come down to it. Where is it? Here we are. So Operation Tempera has been designed by the Ministry of Defence, the Home Office and the National Police Chiefs Council, and is under the legal authority of the Royal Prerogative. So I was like, I remember the Royal Prerogative. What's that? So I looked at the Royal Prerogative. Or Crown Prerogative. Is the term used to describe powers held by the monarch or government ministers that may be used without the consent of Commons or the Lords. So what that basically means is, guys, there's plans in place as we speak. They're already in place. They were last reviewed in, I think, September 23. These plans that have been put in place give the government the right to deploy troops on our streets without any oversight. And that can happen. We've just read it. I'll put the links into the description. I think this is already happening now, guys. I would say that behind the scenes, perhaps not at unit level, but certainly at brigade level, you know, the generals, the military or whatever, they will be called in and they will say, right, and they'll be saying right now, they'll be saying, right, where are our helmets? Where's our public order helmets? Where's our riot shields? Where's our batons? Where's our baton guns? All the rest of that stuff. Because if things continue to increase in violence, and I see no way of these things are going down, guys, I really don't see any way that these things are backing down at the moment. I see no natural decompression. I see no natural decompression of this, because both sides are escalating. This happens, you know, all these conflicts, whether it's a micro conflict or a macro conflict, they all start the same way, and you get escalation, you get tit for tat on both sides, and you get the other, and each little escalation makes the other side more angry, and then they escalate further, and then these guys, honestly, you know, just look after yourself. Remember what I said before, guys, all right? Have that hibernate, what do you say? Hibernate, relocate, evacuate. Guys, it's really important that you can do that. Also, try and get yourselves, you know, just enough food and water to lock yourselves down. And guys, I'm talking about everybody now, no matter what your color, creed, race, religion is. Make sure you take your own family's security, and that is paramount. That should be first and foremost to you. Anyway, guys, I've waffled for long enough. I'm going to go now, and I'll try, guys. No doubt there'll be more stuff happening today. I can pretty much guarantee it. But that's the takeaway from this video, guys. Potential of military deployment on our streets. This civil war is looking more and more like it's going to be in full force. And that's it, guys. We're living in absolutely insane times. Don't forget to like and follow, and I will see you guys later. I'm going to Max the Grid.